Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, happy 2024, happy late New Year. Um, but it's 2024, right? The boldest, happiest, and most progressive year of them all. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you would recognize that statement. So, just some simple housekeeping. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, especially for this video. Go ahead and comment your hearts away and share with someone who you think will find it interesting or um, helpful. As always, me recording myself speaking is a little bit of a challenge, so just bear with me as I do that. And yeah, so you would have seen the title to this video, right? Um, I was thinking, how do I even mention this topic now? And do I even want to go there with this New Year energy and the New Year vibes? God has placed this on my heart to do since mid to late 2023, and I just hadn't put forth enough energy or enough effort, or just didn't have enough energy um, to get to it before now. At the end of the year, the idea was to do it and leave it in 2023. But facts are that wasn't even possible. You can't dismiss something that affects you each and every day. And let me just say, it's something that really affects me even on some of my happiest days, right? I'm affected by it. And for other persons who are as well, you know that it doesn't just go away because we will it away, or because we are just in a new season, basically. So there's no right time. There's no right time to talk about it. So why not talk about it now in what I know will be one of my happiest and most cherished seasons ever. All right, so the fact is, someone somewhere is being affected by this even more than I am and have been. And because of how my relationship with God is set up, I know that nothing moves if nothing moves. I didn't exactly know where to start with this, um, but like with everything else, God has placed it on my heart to do so. Um, so I just had to share, and if He requests it be done, that's all that's required, right? When God asks you to do something, He's not asking for perfection. Obedience is all that He's asking. So when God initially placed it on my heart, um, it was, I guess, to be more vulnerable and open up more. I knew that it had to begin here. So bear with me as I share. I already prayed about it, but just bear with me. And one thing I realized initially, this was supposed to be about me, and it will be. But then I realized it as I was making notes and thinking about what I wanted to talk about. I realized that the message or the information that I'm talking about is just a lot bigger than just telling you about myself. So this channel was created based on me and my personality, as it should have been. And I'm the type of person who loves and appreciates people and the small things. And so I have a segment called One to One on this channel. And that's because I genuinely believe that each of our lives are so beautifully carved out by our Creator that tells this a lovely tale that sometimes looks like a roller coaster, right? And as we journey and encounter ebbs and flows, we become and grow and change into this lovely human. Okay. Um, the point is, it's just a beautiful thing, right? This thing called life. So yeah, I knew that while I wanted to share bits and pieces from other persons lives, um, I eventually would want to give a little bit of myself as well. I feel like over the years, I have in small ways supported, shown love to, or brought a small light on anxiety, depression, and mental health in general. I've shared other people's posts on IG, on Facebook, um, shared mental health days information, the worldwide mental health day, um, in support of the whole movement, right? And when someone unfortunately lost their life, I may have said a word or two towards it. And I myself did share in a caption that I dealt with depression at a certain point a few years ago. I feel like going forward, um, I'll just be attacking this issue a lot more. And not necessarily like this, just, one to one talk, but just in general in my daily life and the things that I share on social media. I'll just be attacking a lot more um, because of how much it's affected my life and how much I've had to fight to make it to where I am now. Also, because many people are dealing with taking care of their mental well being, and not everyone has the support or the love that may keep them going in some of their lowest times. And the more positive information out there, the better, of course. So, I have what I would call high functioning anxiety and depression because so many people are dealing with it much worse. High functioning. Um, but I want everyone to keep in mind that your struggle should not be belittled or dismissed in comparison to anyone else's. Everyone is going through something, and some just have more more per society standards or through society's lenses, right? But your struggle is real to you, and really only you can understand deeply what you've been through, and only if you choose to share will other persons get a glimpse of it. So, why am I doing this video, and will do others like it or similar things to it? Um, so we're all in this together, right? All of us. I don't know. Um, I don't know if you've ever heard the idea that we see in other people. What we see in other people is a reflection of how we see ourselves, or maybe um, the things that we need to work on or can't accept in ourselves is what is highlighted in other people through our lenses. Um, Even as strangers, someone on the other side of the world may be experiencing very similar, if not the exact experiences, and has had similar feelings about where you are in life. Like, we've had similar experiences, complete strangers, right? The thing is, while I see a lot more people using platforms to connect and be real on social media, in general, social media is very antisocial in many cases. People are harsh beyond words, and so many people are showing the flawless, amazing sides of their lives. And rightfully so, right? Life is a beautiful thing, and it should be celebrated and loved, and we should share all the amazing things that's happening, and all the wonderful people that are in our lives, and all the vibes, right? We should share all of these things. But we all we all also go through many hard places, and at some point, while we are while we are going through these things, we still have to get up, or we still choose to get up every day and smile and show up and work and continue to go through. The thing is, most people don't share their heart spaces. So, well, because most people don't share their heart spaces, people might end up feeling and internalizing your experiences as singular or it's harder on us, and that's not the case at all. Your experience is not singular, and I just felt like that's important to share. I'm doing this because every time I hear of someone getting hurt or hurting themselves or um, others losing their battle with mental health, I feel a way. And I want to share and reach out to their families and console them. And I wish I could have helped, right? But I also want to ask how or why. Like, why? I want to remind them that they are worth everything and are amazing and to take it one day at a time. But at that point, it's too late or they're just complete strangers. But it's just what I'm feeling, seeing what happened in their lives or how their lives ended or how they ended somebody else's life. It's like, why? Why? Definitions. Let's get into a little bit of a definition section, right? So, anxiety, anxiety disorder defined. Anxiety is an emotion characterized. Anxiety is an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes like increased blood pressure. Anxiety is not the same as fear, but are often used interchangeably. Anxiety is considered a future oriented, long acting response, broadly focused on diffuse threats, whereas fear is an appropriate, present oriented, and short lived response to clearly identifiable and specific threats. So basically, anxiety is worrying for no reason, right? Or no evident reason, that is. And the source for that is the American Psychological Association, AP.org. It basically says the same thing on Google. However, I just wanted to find um, some more examples or symptoms, I guess. This is from medlineplus.gov, and I'm not sure how realistic, actually. Okay, so first I want to say, I feel like everyone deals with some level of anxiety, right? You've heard people say, "Oh, I'm feeling anxious," or whatever the case is. But having a disorder like that you deal with every single day that affects your everyday is a little bit different than um, just feeling anxious. Um, so this says anxiety is a normal reaction to stress. My levels of anxiety can be beneficial in some cases. It can alert us to dangers and help us prepare and pay attention. Anxiety disorders differ from normal feelings of nervousness or anxiousness and involve excessive fear or anxiety. Anxiety disorders are the most common of mental disorders. They affect nearly 30% of adults at some point in their lives. However, anxiety disorders are treatable with a number of psychotherapeutic treatments. Treatments help most people lead normal productive lives. Anxiety refers to an anticipation of future concern and is more associated with muscle tension and avoidance behavior. Give me 1 second. Okay, so generalized anxiety disorder. Generalized anxiety disorder. This involves persistent and excessive worry that interferes with daily activities. This ongoing worry and tension may be accompanied by physical symptoms such as restlessness, feeling on edge, or easily fatigued, difficulty concentrating, muscle tension, or problems sleeping. Often the worries focus on everyday things such as job responsibilities, family health, or minor matters such as chores, car repairs, or appointments. Um, a core symptom of this includes panic attacks and overwhelming combination of physical and psychological distress. During an attack, several of these symptoms occur in combination: palpitations, pounding heart or rapid heart rate, sweating, trembling or shaking, feeling of shortness of breath, smothering sensations, chest pain, feeling dizzy, lightheaded, faint, feeling a feeling of choking, numbness or tingling, chills or hot flashes, nausea, abdominal pain, feeling detached, feeling um, fear of losing control. So I just wanted to read that as well, and that's from psychiatry.org. Um, the first definition was from apa.org. Um, def- uh, Depression defined. Everyone experiences sadness at times, but depression is something more. Depression is extreme sadness or despair that lasts more than days. It interferes with activities of daily life and can cause physical symptoms such as pain, weight loss or gain, sleeping pattern disruptions, or lack of energy. People with depression may also experience an inability to concentrate, feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt, and recurrent thoughts of death or suicide. Depression is the most common mental disorder. Okay, that said 30%. They said most common. Okay. Fortunately, depression is treatable. A combination of therapy and antidepressant medication can help ensure recovery. And that's per the APA, which was the American Psychological Association. Um, I do not recommend anyone go and jump on antidepressants. That is just per apa.org, as I'm more of a pharmacy than pharmacy. 95% of the time, pharmacy with an FARM instead of pharmacy with the CHARM. But whatever works for persons dealing with these um, disorders, whatever works. And okay, so I feel like I've been affected by most of these symptoms previously mentioned. Most, not all. Thankfully, I've never had thoughts of death or suicide, thankfully, but most everything else and more. This has affected me over the years in school, in the workplace, and just day to day. Anxiety attacks, being overwhelmed, crying, unable to focus, drowsiness, lack of energy, and just um, yeah, most of the things that I mentioned before. And I just feel like most of these things have kept me back. I mean, imagine if I'm, and not to complain about it because my viewpoint on this is very positive and hopeful. But if I was able to make it as far as I have now, and have been dealing with these things on and off for so long, imagine where I would have been if I wasn't dealing with these things. And I just think about things like that, and thinking about things like that actually puts me more um, in an anxious state or in anxiety and cause anxiety attacks, because it's like thinking about the things that initially cause these attacks puts me more in an anxious anxious state. So it's a cycle. It's a repetitive cycle. So I've struggled and learned to live with anxiety and depression and symptoms of ADHD for a while now, but never ever felt like um, I had to resort to taking my own life. I don't know what that feels like. Um, I don't know what it feels like to not want to be here anymore. I don't even know if persons who go through that is like the last thought. Like, is it that I don't want to be here anymore? I can't take this anymore. I'm not sure. I've never had to deal with it. And don't get me wrong, over the years, I've asked myself, why me? And been way too overwhelmed to do much of anything sometimes, honestly. But I've learned to hold on to God's word, and that is everything I've needed. Um, I've always had supportive parents throughout my life, and that since I was small just made me feel like I'm everything and can do anything. So when I'm going through, I've never doubted that I'm being built for or tested or just writing the pages of my story, because what I was going through couldn't be it for me. I knew that without a doubt, because of the fierce little girl that I was and still still have within me, um, that has always known that I'm destined for something bigger because of what was instilled in me. I feel like starting from birth, and though I've had some negative energies and come directly against that has come directly against me, as I grew, that partially affected me negatively, and just other things that I've picked up along the way, um, that could never compare to the love that I received and that I had growing up, that kept me. So, all right, so discussion time. I was listening to one of my favorite radio stations, um, and morning shows last year, I believe, or a few months back. No, probably definitely early last year. Um, and they were having a discussion on mental health, and it was related to suicide. And this was when Miss USA, who was an African American woman, previously a high school track star, an attorney, a TV program host or correspondent, after winning Miss USA. Um, Her name was Chelsea Christ, and she reportedly took her own life. Um, and some persons were basically like, um, she seemingly had everything, right? She had it all. Why would she resort to that? But literally, we don't know what she's been through. We don't know her story. According to an article I was reading, her mom mentioned that this was something that she'd been struggling with for years, depression. So you just never know, and because someone is able to show up through their mental struggles every day doesn't mean they're winning that battle. And showing up isn't being inauthentic in any way either. Showing up could mean, um, just you pushing forward every day and saying, okay, I know I'm dealing with this, but I'm gonna get up every day and I'm gonna keep going. I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm gonna make it through. I'm stronger than this, and keep continually telling yourself that. So, I mean, we have to show up for ourselves daily. But in her case, she lost that battle against mental health. So we pick up emotional baggage sometimes right from birth and even before, because many things from our parents and our ancestors are passed down, and sometimes they don't show up until years later when they're triggered, or sometimes it doesn't show up. It does show up, and it's ignored or not taken as seriously as it needed to have been. And sometimes we pick up things along the way as well, and we don't know how to handle or work through them. Or we just think it's the best thing to do to just keep going and not address certain things because it's just what it is, or there's a hassle to addressing it at the time, or so various things of that nature, that we don't work through things as they come. And it could be, it becomes basically overloaded handling it all at once. There can be many things that happens, um, on this journey that causes someone else to take their life. So we can't completely depend on friends or family, to be there for us when we're going through sometimes either, because they may not know the right things to do or to say, you know. And when being hit with something like that, when being when something like that is being shared with them, they may not know the right way to address it. And then also, even if they respond positively initially, a constant sharing of the same things to some persons, they may not know how to continually respond positively to it. And let me clarify, I'm not saying not to share. Please, please, please share with someone if you're going through and um, need a listening ear. Also, reach out to a professional, therapist, a psychologist, whatever is you feel is necessary for your situation. But my initial point was someone else don't always know what to say to you, or how to handle certain things being told to them. And it's not necessarily that they don't want to. Um, so, that being said, um, don't depend on your own strength either. I know that we feel like we're strong all the time. We can get up every day. We can push through so much. We're so strong. We're so independent. But don't depend on your own strength, because you just never know. Give it all to God. My suggestion. Give it all to God. Because you may not be able to do it on your own. Give yourself permission to become everything that God said you are as a child of God. Focus on you, focus on God, and focus on love, and give it all to Him, and take it day by day. And so, the last couple of years, I found my way back to God and building a personal relationship. Um, you know, not just going to church on Sundays, but a personal relationship, a connection. And like I like to say, that's my G. God is my G. Um, so that is what works for me. Um, though it's still very much work, you still gotta put in work every day consistently to work through these things. Very much. Um, Everything else, though, the therapy, yoga, meditation, are just extra tools that I believe He gives us to add variety and activities to cope and to figure things out over time. And they're all things that have helped me. So I appreciate the persons who are in the spotlight of sorts, who share pieces of their mental health journey, right? Or just speak on the topic and use their celebrity, and make it a bit more acceptable, for lack of a better term. Um, they make it just something that people are able to talk about more and feel normal about talking about it. Because the more we talk about it, the more people feel like they can talk about it, right? The more it's talked about every day in conversations. For me, Charlemagne, Taraji P. Henson, Big Sean, just to name a few. And then also, I guess on the Jamaican music scene, recently I've seen Jada Kingdom and Lila Ike, and maybe so many others, but those definitely stand out to me. Um, Persons like that speaking on their personal battle, or just taking a stand on the issues, definitely make a difference. And I just hope little old me can make a difference in someone else's life as well. Like, yeah, I go through this, I've been going through this, and I continue to go through this. Um, and maybe because I've become much more considerate over the years, I really, really appreciate the few persons in my life who have slowly opened up to me about what is going on with them. And I'm not sure if it's because, actually, I am sure. I'm sure it's because of my openness, and though I don't tell everything, I give them positive words and positive energy based on what I have been through. And I try to reassure them that their life is exactly what it is meant to be, and it's just really amazing just how amazing they are. And I just try to have a positive perspective always when it comes to talking to other persons. Honestly, even more than I can for myself, weirdly. Um, and just informing and reassuring them that they're perfect just the way they are. Just because they were born is enough reason for them to be worthy to be here. And they're enough for God. So if I can, you can. I'm not gonna stop. So you gotta keep going as well, darling. So there's no quota for storms in life, right? You might think you've been through enough. You've been through it all, physically, emotionally, financially, all the alleys, right? You just you just got done working through something, and here comes something else. And at this point, I'm speaking to everyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm here to tell you, it does not matter. Um, there will be storms, no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you do all the things you should be doing. Life will life. Life will be life in at times. This is unavoidable. And you just work on ways to be ready as much as possible. And as much as you can consistently every day to respond positively with all you've got. Remember, the more severe the storm, the closer you are. You're on the verge of redemption, of promotion, of whatever God has for you. So, my peoples, um, when you're going through those mental storms, something physical comes up on top of it and attacks you on top of what you're going through mentally. Listen, that's just God showing the devil that we got this. But if you need to tap out for a second, do that as well. You can do that too. Take a couple hours, take a day to take care of yourself, and then get back to it. Put you first, always. You're stronger than the storm, and while many people don't share their lows, um, I know many people have been through and may still be going through. So, I'm just here to remind you, you're not alone. You're not alone in this, but don't struggle in silence. If you know you need guidance, then reach out to someone. If you're still here, there's still work for you. And if there's still work for you, there's still a lane for you to stay in. So just keep on keeping on. Take the steps necessary just to feel better and be your best self. Um, Better than best self each and every day. For me, that looks like yoga. It looks like meditation. As I mentioned before, it looks like meditation. It looks like working out. It looks like therapy. It looks like writing as much as I need to, journaling. It looks like finding persons who share share your viewpoints, like-minded persons, being in certain groups, and shoot. Most importantly, a consistent, growing relationship with God, and so on. For other persons, that may be medication, whatever works for you. Damian Marley said medication, and he wasn't talking about pills, so okay, don't listen to me with that. But yeah, whatever works for you. Um, to keep going on the daily. If you struggle with any of these things and you're consistently working on you and living, I love that for you. So if you went through a season and things are going much better for you now, I am so happy for you. Use your past experiences to fuel your future experiences, right? Fuel where you're going with your past fires that you put out. Regardless of the issue or reason you're where you are, I wish you peace. I wish you stability. I wish you joy and love. I hope you find the right resources and continual assistance, regardless of how small, that whether it's just a particular routine that keeps you grounded daily, or therapy or both. I hope you have a listening ear or two, and you can be a listening ear for someone else as well. But most of all, I'm reminding you that God is always there with you. 2024 and beyond, live courageously, love, and do all that is placed on your heart. Period. And I know for sure I'll continue to do two of my favorite things, or being two of my favorite places, which that is Jamaica, the lovely land of my birth. That honestly is also a place of deep healing for me as well. And secondly, in front of a stage, appreciating the good, lovely, wonderful, captivating reggae music that I love so, so much. And with that, yeah, just try your best to live your best life regardless of what's going on. Use those resources and use those coping mechanisms and continue on each and every day. Anxiety is not real. Delete depression from your space as it's not welcome. And anything else, any other struggle, any other disorders, any other life struggles that you're going through, you can remember you can still go through. Okay, grow through what you go through. Grow through what you go through. With that, one love. Oh, let me see. One. Wait, hold on. Hello. One love, and yeah, I wish you all the best for the rest of 2024. I had a late start to 2024, but the rest of 2024 is gonna be the best of 2024 for me. Um, so yeah, I wish you all the best as well. Lots to be, lots to be, lots to be grateful for. Give thanks and praises, give thanks and praises, a lot to be thankful for. First of all,